Welcome back to Sutra South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash as always, and today you guys join me in the Suzuki Fronx GLX. So this is the top of the range Suzuki Fronx, and honestly I love this vehicle and I've been looking forward to driving it this year. There's a reason I chose to review it in the year 2024, because I just wanted to see how it would be accepted into the market before I do a full review of it, because I did do a quick review of the vehicle when I attended the launch. So I just wanted to see how you guys, the audience, will accept the vehicle or not accept it. But I'll tell you about that. But you know how we do it this side. We're going to speak about the exterior look of the vehicle, interior look of the vehicle, and the drive of the vehicle, and we sum it up with cost of ownership. So when you look at the exterior look of the vehicle, and it comes to my point of how you guys have accepted the vehicle, those cars have actually been loved by so many people. Hence, even when you want to order one, there is actually a waiting list. Like it's rare for you to go to a Suzuki dealership and be like, I want this Suzuki. Then I'm like, okay, here it is on the floor, take it. There's like a sort of a waiting list because of the demand of the vehicle and how much you guys have loved it. The consumers have loved it, and I personally have loved it too. I was not sure with the look of the vehicle, I'll be honest with you. I was not sure with the look of the vehicle, more especially at the back. But over I think a couple of months, let's say 6 months since it's been launched, I grew to love it. I grew towards it. It was launched last year around August or so. So over those months till now, January 2024, I loved it. So I've had it for the past week in my garage. And you know, when it's parked and I look at it, more especially in this color, this blue just pops. I just like the look of the car, more especially in front. The back, I like this one, the GLX, because it has a lovely light bar at the back. And as nowadays, almost every single car has a light bar. If you don't have a light bar, what you doing? So the GL model doesn't have a light bar, but the light design is the same. But this one has a light bar. So the look of the vehicle is fine. The wheels are okay. I like them. The look of the vehicle overall is okay. I love it. When you jump into the interior of the vehicle, this is where you see that, okay, from the outside, it's a different type of Suzuki. Getting in the interior, it looks like any other Suzuki there is. It reminds me of the Baleno to a certain extent. And then it reminds me of the Grand Vitara that we also launched sometime last year, which will also be my long-termer. So after this, you must probably see the Grand Vitara review in a month or so, but it's my next long-termer from Suzuki. More about that when I have the car. So this one, interior wise, looks good. The finish is amazing, more especially because for the price of the vehicle, you don't expect the touches that Suzuki did on those ones. So you get this two-tone color combination on the seats. On the dash, you get more like a three-tone, because the dash is black. And then on the passenger side, where the airbag where the airbags will pop out and go in front of, it's a bit of this bronze finish, and then under that is like a maroon type finish. So it actually looks good. I like it. So the attention to detail, and Suzuki have just gotten into making you feel good inside the interior of the vehicle. So that's what I like about the car. You don't get a digital instrument cluster this time around. You get an analog instrument cluster with a digital screen in the middle, which tells you your fuel efficiency. You can change it to tell you your power, your torque, all of those things. Then you get this big touchscreen infotainment system, which supports Android Auto and Apple CarPlay wirelessly. So that's very important, wirelessly, and it works amazing. You start the vehicle, it hooks up. I love that about the vehicle. So now, with this one, the GL gets a smaller screen, a 7-inch instead of this 10-inch, but it's negligible. Like, you can see it, but you do really need the big screen. It looks better, but Suzuki has made the Fronx so accessible to a lot of people, and that's why it's selling. That there's not too many features missing out. So if you get a Suzuki Fronx GL, you won't be like, I should have gotten the GLX, because even when you're in the GL, you're in a very good vehicle. Now, speaking about that, just speak about the drive of the vehicle. So I'm going to tell you about the engine capacity. This car has a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated engine, producing 77 kilowatts and 138 newton meters of torque. So the one I'm driving that I have on test is not the 5-speed manual. I drove the 5-speed manual at launch. I'm driving the automatic, and honestly, oh, by the way, I do like saying, oh, and honestly, because I'm being honest, I've not been a fan of automatic in small cars, but I think the more I drive automatic vehicles, I'm starting to understand why they're there in smaller vehicles. Sometimes you just don't want to be changing gears. You just want the gearbox as is. So for the people that buy this vehicle, an automatic here, they won't mind it because it will get the job done. Then you get us, and when I say us, I'm thinking about motoring influencers, car reviewers, car journalists. Is that when we get into a vehicle that we prefer it manual. We tend to be harsh on the automatic gearbox because an automatic gearbox must be a performance gearbox. It must give me 1, 2, 3, whereas we tend to forget why it's there. So in this vehicle, I can tell you why the automatic gearbox is here. It's not just that so it can shift quickly, it can do all these fancy things for you. It's here for the person that wants this vehicle, but not in the manual, because they don't want to be changing gears, or they just don't like changing gears. They want the car to do all the thinking. Okay, that indicator's loud. They want the car to do all the thinking. And if you put that type of person in this vehicle and they drive this vehicle, they will not mind driving this vehicle. They will not feel no lag in the gearbox. You put your foot down, it's lagging, then it goes. Give it to a normal person, they won't be able to tell what is lag because they don't even know what lag is. So it gets the job done for the average person. So the gearbox, this one, it's okay. For what it is, Suzuki has done well for offering an automatic. I think we need to praise them there, that they offer them manual and they offer them automatic. So they're targeting two different kinds of people. But it comes to that question, which one would I prefer? I'll always say manual in this vehicle. This feels smoother, it drives much nicer, I can do all these fancy things. So I just like the manual more. I don't mind the automatic. I've spent a week with the vehicle. I don't mind it. Even if you gave it to me in automatic, it'll be fine. The ride height. So this car's raised up, but you don't feel raised up. It's just giving off, it's a small compact SUV. That's the correct term. Small compact SUV. It is compact, it is small. It is SUV. To a certain extent, it gets the job done, it's fine. What this car essentially is a Suzuki Baleno, but raised up. So it comes to the question, would you guys get a Suzuki Baleno or a Suzuki Fronx? Now, speaking of those two vehicles, they offer the same thing, but now you as a buyer, you need to decide which one do you like more, which one are you leaning more to. So now, let me introduce something that I'll be doing in my reviews. So whatever vehicle that I have on test or the brand, I'll give you a quick fact about the vehicle, about the brand as a whole. So this time around, in collaboration with Change Cars, I'm bringing you Know Your Brand. So I'm going to speak about Suzuki, and one fact about Suzuki as a whole is that Suzuki has a partnership with Toyota, for those that don't know. So for those that don't know, and when you see a Toyota Starlet, and then you're like, but that looks like a Baleno, aren't they copying? No, they're not. They have a partnership, so they work together. So Toyota does outsource vehicles, not outsource, yeah, outsource vehicles from Suzuki, and then Suzuki, they do sign and say, yes, we can give you this, just rebrand it. So they have they have the urban cruiser, they have the Baleno. They do not have a Fronx, and I do not want Toyota to get a Fronx, because I feel like Suzuki should keep some of the vehicles to just themselves. But enough about that. Let's talk about the pricing of the vehicle, so I can sum it up with cost of ownership of the vehicle. So now the price of this vehicle, this car's starting price at launch, it was priced at 280,000 Rand for the GL model, and the GLX, the one that I'm in, was priced at 336,000 Rand. So quickly, before I do the cost of ownership, something that you need to know as a buyer is that the GL model gets 2 airbags, so for the driver and passenger, and then the GLX, being the top of the range, gets 6 airbags, which is the driver and passenger and curtain airbags. But I feel like I'm so big on safety, I just wish the curtain airbags would be standard across all models. But as Muzi Sambo would say, a collab. So now if you take this vehicle, the one I'm in, for 336,000 Rand, and you finance it over a period of 5 years, which is 60 months, at an interest rate of 12.25% with no deposit, you're looking at paying 7,181 Rand monthly repayments for this vehicle. You factor fuel into that, at the current fuel price, and the size of the tank is 37 liters. For a full tank on this vehicle, you're looking at paying 832 Rand. So you add those two up, rounded up, you get how much? 8,000 Rand. So that's how much your total cost of ownership will be without insurance for this vehicle. It will be 8,000 Rand. It's up to you guys. You guys will tell me if you guys will take it, if you guys will not take it. But obviously, you can always structure your deal differently. You can take a balloon, although I'll never tell you to take a balloon. But yeah, that's with regards to the total cost of ownership. So before I wrap up the review, key features that the GLX, the one I'm in, has over the GL is that you get your keyless entry, you get your heads-up display, you get the bigger infotainment system, you get this finish on the door that doesn't come standard. So there's just these niceties that you get on top of the GLX. But I've told you every single thing you need to know about this vehicle. If there's something you'd like to know that I did not cover, please comment down below in the comment section. Tell me what you think, tell me what you'd like to know, and I'll respond. Best believe all your comments that you guys comment, I see them. Sometimes I don't respond, but I would like to show you that I saw it. But yeah, I've covered everything you need to know about the Suzuki Fronx. I'm Nicky Nash from South Africa, and I'll see you on the next one.